Good day, everyone. I am Vivian C. Atihon, and together with me, my co-discussant, Miss Jane N. Falalimpa, both teaching at Igmarabu Elementary School, Schools District of Miagal East. We will be presenting to you about Batas Pambansa bilang 232, an act providing for the establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education, or better known as the Education Act of 1982. Promulgated September 11, 1982. Here are the objectives. Define Batas Pambansa bilang 232 or Education Act of 1982. Identify and discuss the rights, duties, and obligations of members and elements of educational community. Enumerate the types of educational system under Education Act of 1982. What is Batas Pambansa bilang 232 or Education Act of 1982? Batas Pambansa bilang 232 or better known as the Education Act of 1982 provides the latest and more specific provision on rights, duties, and parents' relation to education. The right to form, establish, join, and participate in organizations and societies recognized by the school to foster their intellectual, cultural, spiritual, and physical growth and development for purposes not contrary to law. This act mandates that the state shall provide for a free public elementary and secondary education. The coverage of this act shall apply to and govern both formal and non-formal systems in public and private schools in all levels of the entire educational system. The policy of the state is to establish and maintain a complete, adequate, and integral system of education relevant to the goals of national development. The national development goals. Number 1, to achieve and maintain an accelerating rate of economic development and social progress. To assure the maximum participation of all the people in the attainment and enjoyment of the benefits and such growth. And to achieve and strengthen national unity and consciousness and preserve and develop and promote desirable cultural, moral, and spiritual values in changing world. It is stated in Section 3 that the state shall promote the right of every individual to relevant quality education regardless of sex, age, creed, socioeconomic status, physical and mental conditions, racial or civic origin, and political or other affiliation. The state shall therefore promote and maintain equality of access to education as well as the benefits of education by all its citizens. The educational system aims to provide for a broad general education that assists each individual to attain his potential as human being, to enhance the range and quality of individual and group participation in the basic participation of society, and to acquire the essential educational foundation of his development into a productive and versatile citizen. Trains the nation's manpower in the middle-level skills required for national development. Develop the professional that will provide leadership for the nation in the advancement of knowledge for improving the quality of human life and responds effectively to changing needs and conditions of the nations through a system and educational planning and evaluation. All educational institutions shall inculcate patriotism and nationalism, develop moral character, teach the duties of citizenship, personal discipline, scientific, technical and vocational efficiency. Reach out deprived educationally communities. What is educational community? Educational community refers to those persons or groups of persons as such or associated in institutions involved in organized teaching and learning systems. The policy and objectives of educational system. First, aid and support the natural right and duty of parents. Second, promote and safeguard the welfare and interest of students. Third, promote the social-economic status of all school personnel, uphold their rights, and define their obligations. And lastly, extend support to promote the viability of those institutions through which parents, students, and school personnel seek to attain their educational goals. Who are the members in educational community? First, we have the parents. Parents or guardians or the head of the institution or foster home which has custody of the pupil or student. Next is students. Students or those enrolled in and who regularly attend an educational institution of secondary or higher level or a person engaged in formal study. Pupils are those who regularly attend a school of elementary level under the supervision and tutelage of a teacher. Next is school personnel. School personnel or all persons working for an educational institution, which includes teaching or academic staff, school administrators, academic, non-teaching personnel, and non-academic personnel. And the school. Schools or institutions recognized by the state which undertake educational operations. Community participation. Every educational institution shall provide for the establishment of appropriate bodies through which the members of the educational community may discuss relevant issues and communicate information and suggestions for assistance and support of the school and for the promotion of their common interest. In what organization are these members can participate? We have the administrative, student organization for the learners or for the student, faculty organization for the teachers, and parent-teacher association or the PTA. That would be all my report in Batas Pambansa bilang 232. Ms. Jane Falalimpa will continue the discussion on rights, duties, and obligations of members of the educational community and likewise the educational system. Thank you for watching. Keep safe and God bless.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jane N. Falalimpa. The continuation of our topic, Batas Pambansa, is about rights. The rights of parents. First, the right to organize by themselves and or with teachers. Second, the right to access to any official record. Rights of students in school. First, the right to receive, primarily through competent instruction, relevant quality education in line with national goals. Second, the right to freely choose their field of study subject. Third, the right to school guidance and counseling services. Fourth, the right of access to his own school records, the confidential of which the school shall maintain and preserve. Fifth, the right to issuance of official certificates, diplomas, transcript of records, grades, transfer, credential, and other similar documents. Sixth, the right to publish a student newspaper and similar publications. 7. The right to free expression of opinions and suggestions. 8. The right to form, establish, join, and participate in organizations. 9. The right to be free from involuntary contribution. Rights of all personnel. First, the right to free expression of opinion and suggestions. Second, the right to be provided with free legal service. Third, the right to establish, join, and maintain labor organizations. Fourth, the right to be free from involuntary contribution except those imposed by their own organization. Special rights of teaching or academic staff. First, the right to be free from compulsory assignment not related to their duties. Second, the right to intellectual property consistent with applicable laws. Third, teacher shall be deemed person in authority when in the discharge of lawful duties and responsibilities. Fourth, teacher shall be accorded the opportunity to choose alternative career lines either in school administration, in school teaching, or others. The special rights of school administrators. Be accorded sufficient administrative discretion. Next, be deemed person in authority while in the discharge of lawful duties and responsibility. Last, be accorded due respect and protection. Right of the school. The right of their governing boards or local authorities to provide for the proper governance of the school. The right for institution of higher learning to determine on academic grounds who shall be admitted to study, who may teach, and what shall be subjects of study and research. Duties and obligation. The duties of parents. Parents shall help carry out the educational objectives in accordance with national goals. Parents shall be obliged to enable their children to obtain elementary education, secondary, and higher education. Parents shall cooperate with the school in implementation of the school program. Duties and responsibility of students. Exert his utmost to develop his potentialities for service. Uphold the academic integrity of the school and abide by the rules and regulations governing his academic responsibilities and moral integrity. Promote and maintain the peace and tranquility of the school. Participate actively in civic affairs in the promotion of the general welfare. Exercise his right responsibly. Teacher's obligation. Perform his duties to the school. Be accountable for the efficient and effective attainment of the specified learning objectives. Render regular reports on performance of each student. Assume the responsibility to maintain and sustain his professional growth. Refrain from making deduction in students' scholastic rating. Participate as an agent of constructive social, economic, moral, intellectual, cultural, and political change. The school administrator's obligation. Perform his duties to school. Be accountable for the efficient and effective administration and management of the school. Develop and maintain a healthy school atmosphere. Assume and maintain professional behavior in the work. Render adequate reports to teachers, academic, non-teaching personnel, and non-academic staff. Observe due process, fairness, promptness, privacy, constructiveness, and consistency in disciplining his teachers. teachers and other personnel. Maintain adequate records and submit requirements report. The obligations of academic non-teaching personnel. Improve himself professionally. Be keeping abreast of the latest trends and techniques in his profession. Assume, promote, and maintain an atmosphere conducive to service and learning. Promote and maintain an atmosphere conducive to service and learning. The educational system. Formal education. Formal educational refers to the hierarchically structured and chronologically graded learning organized and provided by the formal school system and for which certification is required for the learner to progress through the grades or move to higher levels. Formal education shall correspond to the following levels: the elementary education, the secondary education, and the tertiary education. Objectives of elementary education: the basic education, to provide the knowledge and develop the skills, attitudes, and values. Objectives of secondary education: to continue to promote the objectives of elementary education and to discover and enhance the different aptitudes and interests of the student. Objectives of tertiary education: train the nation's manpower, develop the professions that will provide leadership for the nation, and to advance knowledge through research work. The non-education and specialized educational services. Specialized educational services. 1. Work education or practical arts. 2. Special education. 3. Non-formal education. The objectives of non-formal education are as follows: A. To eradicate illiteracy. B. To provide unemployed and underemployed youth and adults. C. To develop among the clientele of non-formal education proper values and attitudes. And that's all my topic. Thank you. God bless and keep safe, everyone.